So in a recent study, what percentage of mums said their baby looked just like Dad? The answer is a whopping 100%.
I think that's probably the most interesting question we've posed for eons. Every single mother, quizzed by Sheffield University scientists, said they thought their baby looked just like its dad, and yet only 30% of strangers agreed with them. So there we go. We're into the final part of this morning's show. We're asking if dads favour children that look like them over the ones that don't. Gail, Steve and Sherry's thoughts in a moment. Yours, please, and our usual number, 0207 173 5555. Dutch psychologists, they studied 61 families with children aged around 8 or 9 and found dads spent much more time with the children that looked like them than with the ones that didn't, and they want to know why. Could it be they view the looky-likey ones as more theirs, more than the milkman's? As the one best suited to carry their genes down the line. And if you think about it, 1 in 25 men unwittingly raising a child that isn't biologically theirs, maybe this is just genetic common sense. But the really fascinating thing is mums, on the other hand, seem to not care a jot who their kids look like. They pick their favourite on personality alone. And that Sheffield University study I mentioned that found all mums think their kids look like Dad, could that be because mums feel an overwhelming urge to reassure their man that the child is his? What better way than to say it looks just like him? Another study found men who adopted children preferred the adopted children that looked like them over the ones that didn't, which I think is absolutely fascinating. I really do. Steve, go on then. So do you have a... no, commit yourself on national television. Do you have a favourite? Is it the one that looks like you? Most like you?
I've been told they both
by Mrs.
But I think it's also this study, the Sheffield study. I think it's often babies probably look more like their fathers, and I think that's a kind of goes back to when human beings first started to procreate on this earth, that the kind of hunter-gatherer that would leave to go away, and the milkman would be around. And the milkman would be around. These are, well, no, but these are obviously my children. Of course, I mean, no, I mean, I hope to God that they look like their mother and not me. She's a very, very, very beautiful woman, and I'm not. But no, I think...
Women are beautiful. You're a beautiful man, not a beautiful woman.
Oh, I'm a lady. But I think this whole preference thing is a hideous idea just based on looks. I think it's if you have a child,
resemblance, rather than forget about the word looks, resemblance, which is slightly different. Somebody that resembles something, because
but I don't think you look at your own child and go, oh, she looks like me. Oh, it looks like me. You don't. I don't think that's a natural...
Steve. In my family, my mum talks about which one of us looks.
It's other people who say that
all the time.
But that's what other people say. Yeah, she looks like you, he looks like you, and it's always your own parent that says they look more like you rather than your spouse. And I just think, I don't think parents necessarily look at their own child and think, you look like me, I love you more. I think it's, and it's a hideous thought that someone would praise one more than the other because of looks. Resemblance.
Yeah, subconsciously, though, not consciously, subconsciously. Is it in our genes, Gail?
I've only got one, so she's my favourite, so that's fine. I look like all babies, I think.
Did you think...
She looks like her dad. I do sometimes, like, sometimes when she's asleep. Not that he slept all the time, but, you know, when she's asleep, sometimes you see that trait, you think, oh, she's got a mouth like her dad. I don't know, I think she looks like... I don't really think.
Did you tell Dad she looks just like you?
Yeah, yeah. I phoned him up... Bless him, I said, oh, I had this really bad nightmare that we were still married. Anyway, and he's going, that's not a nightmare. I said, no, but the worst thing is, I just looked at Honey, she looks just like you. And he's going, that's not a bad thing. It's not. He's a very handsome man. But I did see it, really saw it, like, just occasionally I see it. I could see her eyes like mine, but I can see it. But I don't understand. I'm like you. It's hideous that you think...
Yeah. Do you think it's important for Dad to know that a child looks just like him?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, of course. I don't know. I've never really asked him, to tell you the truth. But you can tell she's definitely his. She's about as tall as me already.
Yeah, no,
he's 6 foot. She's very tall. He's 6'3", but it's definitely... She's Daddy's girl, yeah.
And Sherry?
Well, I'm like you. I've got one girl, and I can't see myself in her. It's for other people to tell me, oh, she looks just like you, oh, her nose, or oh, she looked just like you then. But I very much see her father in her. I don't see myself in her, but I can see her father in her very often in certain expressions. And she hasn't grown up with her daddy around all the time.
No.
She knows him. But nevertheless, the genes are so strong, even expressions when she's thinking are exactly like her father. That's not imitation.
Do you think these two things, that mothers don't have a favourite based on looks, is big, or that they would reassure their man that the child looks like them, is all about this strong passing the strongest genes down the line?
Sounds like guilt to me.
Yeah, that's the other option.
She doth protest too much.
Yes. Although, again, I mean, I just found it remarkable, that survey, you know, the babies look just like that. It's 100% of women in the Sheffield study.
It's got to be primordial, hasn't it? It's got to go
Yes.
right back to when we were hairy apes, because you look at the line, you always look at the animal kingdom, and the answers are there, aren't they? We forget, but we are animals, deep, 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 deep down, way, way back, and still intuitively. So lions kill off the cubs. If they take over, if they boot out another lion, and they move in with the lioness, they kill off all those cubs, don't they?
Yeah, hippos, they're very aggressive as well.
Because they will not accept the young other than their own. They only want to preserve their own gene pool.
What a nightmare for step-parents. Rid of them all.
In the lion world.
In the lion.
Yes.
Cheaper?
Cheaters?
No, cheaper.
Let's throw it over to you. I'm fascinated to hear what you have to say about this. Do dads favour children that look like them? Do mums all think their children look like dad? Let's see what you've got to say. Kirsty.
First, we've got Brent on line 1.
Lovely. Brent, good morning.
Oh, good morning to you.
What do you have to say about this, sir?
Yes, I've got 2 children. A lot of people, I've got a daughter and I've got a son, and a lot of people say the daughter looks more like me, and my son looks more like my ex. And I could never say it. I never actually looked at my children that way. I just see them as being individuals, love them to pieces, and...
Well, which one do you like best, Brent? Come on, let's get down to the chase.
I never said that to my children. Sometimes you prefer one, and other times you prefer the other.
Come on. Which one do you poo-poo most often, then? Come on, which one's the favourite?
No, I don't have a favourite.
Shut up. Yes, you do.
I never have a favourite.
Yes, you do.
No.
Yes. Given a choice...
I love them on different... more on their personality. My daughter's a great artist. She's great on playing the piano. My son's very academic. He's only 8, but he's...
you prefer your daughter, don't you, rather than that boring swat in there studying?
I'm just so proud of the individual skills. I don't treat them exactly the same. I treat them to their individual personalities.
OK, and you yourself, do you look like your mum or your dad?
Oh, God, either, probably. No, I probably look more like my dad, actually.
Oh, really? How interesting. Brent, thank you very much for the call. Let's have another one.
Nicole's on line 2.
Nicole, good morning.
Morning.
What about your children?
I've got a partner who's black. He's from Jamaica, and I'm a typical white, boring English woman. And when I was pregnant with my children, you can imagine, especially with the first one, I was concerned as to what they would come out, not just skin tone, but how they would look as well.
Right.
Because of being from 2 ethnic groups.
Yeah.
Now, my partner said, well, whatever happens, we know they're going to have brown eyes.
Right.
They both came out with blue.
Are you married to Michael Jackson?
No, there's no way I would go anywhere near that pervert.
Right.
But no, I mean, I think it's baloney. I think it makes no difference as to whether they look like you or not. They're part of you. You know they're part of you, and you just love them.
You're flying in the face of Dutch research.
I don't care, because I think the Dutch must be totally bonkers.
We all know why the Dutch are bonkers.
I'd never expected, because when you do favouritism on this show and you say, you know, every parent favours a child, so rare you'll get a parent to own up and say, yes, I favour one child over the other, because it goes against the grain. But I think most children
are aware that a parent... I'm always aware my father favoured my brother over me. He beat us both. But you are aware.
I beat you harder.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But I am persuaded by the Dutch, I have to say, on this, and I think there probably is something in it. And that Sheffield University, 100% of mums think the kids look like Dad. I find that fascinating.
How many did they ask? One person? Or...
I think it was about 60, I think.
Right.
One Dutch woman.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen 100% on one of your polls.
Absolutely. Never happens. Yeah, first time. Listen, we are all out of time, I'm afraid. I can't thank Cherie for joining us enough for joining us this morning.
Thank
It's been such a laugh.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
And Casualty 1909, if you haven't seen it yet, well, you don't know what you're missing. Sort yourself out by tuning in this Sunday. It's 9 o'clock, isn't it? Yeah,
9 o'clock Sunday,
9 o'clock.
BBC One.
Gail and Steve, love you. Ladies and gents, so your appreciation, please. Tomorrow, last Right Stuff of the week, we're going to be joined by Springwatch star Chris Packham and taking a special look at festivals with the folks from Glastonbury and the Big Chill. And the Mentalist continues tonight right here on 5. Thanks for watching. Bye.